let's hope that supply issues with rapid antigen tests will ease in the coming weeks as pharmacies expect that increase in supply. Let's bring in Trent Twomey now. He is the president, of course, of the Pharmacy Guild of Australia. Trent, good to see you again. So I just, first of all, want to start off with this 1.2 million rat tests that arrived overnight in New South Wales. How much do you expect that to ease, I suppose, the backlog in New South Wales, particularly for students?
Well, 1.2 million sounds like a lot, but when there's 26 million Australians, it doesn't go far at all. There's about 200 million rapid antigen tests on order at the moment between the states and the territories and the Commonwealth government that are ordering those big bulk packs of point of care tests, whether it be for schools, like you said, or whether it be for their testing clinics as they transition from PCR to rapid antigen. But there's a further 100 million already on order as well between pharmacies, between Coles and Woolworths. But as you just said, the supply is going to continue to be patchy. Prices are going to continue to be volatile until at least mid-February. And, everybody, we have daily hookups with what's called the National Coordination Mechanism, or the NCM, which has been instigated by the Commonwealth, and that contains representatives of the entire supply chain, mate. So manufacturers, importers, wholesalers, and of course those important retailers. But we're all scrambling, and unfortunately, I'd like to tell viewers that prices are going to settle down and there'll be plenty of supply in a matter of days. But mate, that'd just be a flat-out lie. Unfortunately, it's still going to be with us for many weeks yet.
Okay, well, you just touched on this. So when do you expect supply to catch up with demand?
So just like the rollout, mate, of the other important aspects of the country's response to the pandemic, being the vaccination program, it was a phased, stepped-up rollout. And that's exactly what it's going to be with the rapid antigen test. So whether it's the private market, whether you go and pop them in your trolley at Coles or Woolies, whether it's the concessional market and you get them free from your local pharmacy, that'll start next Monday, the 24th, but only with about 1,000 pharmacies. There's 6,000 pharmacies in Australia, and they will progressively come online over the coming weeks as supply enables. And of course, the third pillar of the access to rapid antigen tests is through your state and territory government, and that is still patchy as well. So you can't order 200, you can't go from zero to 200 million on order and expect them to be equally accessible by everybody at once.
So it comes down to the point that orders came too late. Is that what you're saying?
Mate, we should have foreseen that we were going to have to relax restrictions and everyone in Australia was going to get COVID. Now, if everyone in Australia was going to get COVID, then everyone in Australia is going to want to get tested, not just once, but multiple times. Yeah. And we saw when we released those restrictions, mate, the pressure on the pathology labs, which is why National Cabinet, the premiers and chief ministers flipped the switch and went to these point-of-care rapid antigen tests. But you know what? If we'd just been given at least 3 weeks head notice, we didn't have to be given a month, just 3 weeks, we could have got enough.
It took them 12 months here to get approved too.
Well, there is about 24 rapid antigen tests on the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods, which are the retail packs. So the small packs you can pop in your trolley, pop in with your bag of prescriptions and take home. But there's twice that, about 24 of the big bulk point of care tests. So we're talking, 40 and 20. So we're talking over 60 rapid antigen tests approved on the ARTG. So the issue isn't, Pete, actually approval by the agencies. It's having purchase agreements by the wholesalers and the importers. And when you're seeing massive worldwide shortages in the United Kingdom, in Northern America, worldwide, Australia's a pretty small market, right? Which is why we're having to see Australians pay more, governments pay more, taxpayers pay more, because we're such a small market, we have to pay over the odds to be able to secure our global share.
Why argue against making rats free for all age groups at pharmacies?
So, as I said, there are 26 million Australians, and I am fully supportive, and every pharmacist is fully supportive of a universal healthcare system, which means not only should the stuff be available in metropolitan cities just as it is in regional, rural, remote Australia, but all Australians deserve to have access to them at the price they can afford. And not everything is free in Australia. Not every prescription medicine is free. So this two-tiered system of having general patients and concessional patients for our medicines, for our essential medicines, is exactly the same system we're applying to rapid antigen tests. So I think it does strike a healthy balance.
But, the US is doing it. The UK is doing it. Why can't it be done here where orders for rats are done online? That cuts you out. That makes things easier, doesn't it?
Well, mate, you can order online from my pharmacy. You can click and collect if you want to do it contactless and out in the car park, and the staff will run it out for you. You can do, click and deliver, and my staff will deliver it to your house. So, a lot of people want to come in and collect it when they're getting their normal, prescription medicines, when indeed they're getting their COVID booster. They've got to come into the pharmacy anyway. So collecting it to a lot of people is a lot easier. But you're right, having click and collect and click and deliver is something the pharmacy network offers. And if that's what Aussies want, that's what we'll give them.
Okay, so just get back to the original question. Mid-February, you expect people to be able to get them without too much trouble?
We are seeing supplies starting to ramp up after Australia Day, mate, but they're not going to normalise to around Valentine's Day. And that's the window we're looking at. We see this NCM, I said before, that is mapping in quite some detail supply versus demand to do everything they can to marry it up. But, when we're seeing the whole supply chain, right, people coming down with COVID, it's taking an extra couple of days to clear out of Sydney Airport. It's taking an extra couple of days for the wholesalers to repack it into those TJ-approved packs, and then an extra couple of days for the delivery drivers to get it up to Cairns. So you add all those extra couple of days, and all of a sudden you got, a few weeks, and that's exactly what's happening.
Okay, Trent, Twomey, good to have you with us as always. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, mate.